2 guests just boarded saying they were looking for Boot Hill, so I told them to wait in the parlor car.
Oh, just in time.
2 guests?
She's one of them. Look, we welcome all passengers on the Astral Express, but sneaking in like that? You have no regard for etiquette.
My apologies, conductor. It was an oversight on my part. I assumed you were already acquainted with the garden. Given the chaotic situation in Penacony, the Nameless are the only ones we can truly trust right now.
You are the memo keeper.
Pleased to meet you, Dan Hung. I've seen you in others' memories. And as for Boot Hill, this is our first face-to-face meeting. I hope you enjoyed that bottle of Astana's White Oak. You sure have a refined taste.
Finally, memo keeper. Well, let's cut to the chase. Spill everything you know.
That's precisely what I intend to do. But before that, please allow me to introduce myself. My name is Black Swan, and I serve the Garden of Recollection as a memo keeper. As for Acheron's story, I'm sure she knows it better than I do.
Greetings. I'm Acheron.
What? You Garden of Recollection shirtbag! You betrayed me!
I apologize, but she did that at my request. Due to certain reasons, I have been exiled by the family. Thankfully, this memo keeper came to my aid and helped me escape their surveillance unnoticed.
To be honest, it was more like stalking than helping. And the process was far from unnoticed. But we did escape.
I asked her to guide me to a place beyond the family's reach and to contact a few trustworthy individuals, namely all of you.
Trustworthy? Son of a nice lady. You think I'm dumb or something? How about this? I'll put a few bullet holes in your head and see what secrets spill out. Then, we can talk about trust.
It doesn't have to be like that. I'm willing to answer all your questions, but not right now. If my cover hadn't been blown, we might have had more time, but at the moment, we don't have any other options.
No other options? What do you mean?
This is the only way I can ensure everyone's safety. I kindly request an immediate warp jump out of the Astana star system.
This passenger is requesting...
As far as I can tell, she's not a threat and seems to be telling the truth.
I've briefly traveled with your companions and know their whereabouts, Dan Hung. Please rest assured, your nameless companions are safe, but they need our help. As for Boot Hill, you may have guessed, I've been waiting for you. Galaxy Rangers are known for their elusive nature and limited contact with each other, so this was the only way I could reach out to you. Only by doing this can I find a true Galaxy Ranger and fulfill a long-standing promise. To return his relics to their rightful owner.
Let's wait here for the Dream Master to arrive.
Okay. By the way, brother, I heard you no longer have a sweet tooth. Back when we were kids, you used to steal my desserts. Seems like a lot has changed during my absence. What exactly happened?
Well, someone has to stay awake even in this sweet dream.
But that someone doesn't have to be you, or anyone in particular. You're carrying too much on your shoulders, brother. The paradise in our dreams. It shouldn't be like this. Penacony is nothing more than a dream. It can't erase the worries and pain of reality or bring true happiness. It only offers an escape from reality. Nothing more.
Remember the old man we met earlier? Without this dream, he might have completely lost himself.
That might be true, but even without Penacony, he could have chosen another path. As far as I know, the Intelligentsia Guild has been promoting their rehabilitation techniques for a long time now. That path may have been more ordinary and challenging, but now he's in a comatose state, and that sweet dream has become sort of end-of-life care. His fate is sealed. Is Penacony granting these people a future? Or is it taking it away from them?
Well, don't forget this. Not everyone really has a future. The future for humanity is like the sky for birds. People mistakenly believe that flight is inherent to birds because they've never witnessed those birds crashing to their death. Do you remember how we took in that little Charmony dove when we were young?
Yeah, we took care of it. Provided food and water, groomed its feathers. And later, when I decided to leave Penacony, I opened the cage and set it free.
Well, I didn't mention what happened to it in my letters because I didn't want to upset you. Shortly after you left, it crashed to its death right in front of your window.
I had surmised as much. I knew you wouldn't have avoided mentioning the bird for no reason. Despite that unfortunate outcome, I still believe it was the right decision. Birds aren't meant to spend their lives in cages. They belong in the sky, even if they can't fly.
But here's the thing. If there are birds in this world that can never fly, can we really assert that they belong in the sky?
Are you implying that the same goes for humans too?
Let's take the Astral Express as an example. The Nameless made tremendous efforts to bridge worlds, gaining fame across the universe. However, only a few extraordinary individuals can endure such a perilous journey. That's because the pursuit of the Trailblaze exceeds the capabilities of ordinary humans. Otherwise, why would this path be filled with broken rails, an abandoned express, and even a fallen Eon?
That's just sophistry. If that were true, then only the powerful would have the right to determine the future.
Unfortunately, that's exactly what happens. Another name for the future is self-value. While this world has its fair share of heroes who inspire people and garner admiration for their heroic deeds, the majority of ordinary people will never become heroes in their lifetime. Some are born weak and vulnerable. Some find themselves trapped in unfortunate circumstances. Some fall victim to malice and cowardice. When it comes to survival, everyone is equal. And the weak can only watch as their value gets constantly diminished by external forces.
That's why we should care for the weak and support them as if their suffering were our own. That's what the Odes of Harmony have always taught us.
While the Harmony holds noble aspirations, the strong will always be strong, and the weak will always be weak. Even in this carefree dream. Human nature contains greatness, but it also harbors inherent weaknesses that can't be eradicated. In the end, if people can't even secure their own survival, they won't care about the illusory future of equality. As long as the law of survival of the fittest prevails, there will always be fledglings crashing to their death.
But if people don't live for the future, do they merely exist for survival? If even you, my brother, don't believe that the harmony will save the weak, then which eon can make our dreams come true?
People often forget that when the first bird took flight, the entire world envisioned a future where no more fledglings would ever crash to their death.
You're back sooner than I thought. Any results?
Yes. And now, it's up to us to forge ahead.
Huh. Since his last will has now been conveyed, my final mission is complete. But pardon me if I sound curt. It's good to have determination. The path Mikhail left for you is not an easy one to tread. Why else would he have chosen to sleep in solitude, staking everything on some nameless in the future? But you have the numbers, and in numbers comes strength. So that might just delay your inevitable a little more.
Got any more encouraging words?
As I see it, relying on Welt's negotiations alone is far from enough. Regardless of whether the other party will be compliant, negotiating simply allows us to meet them as equals and won't grant us an upper hand. Penacony is our rival's home turf, and we already have very few chips left to play with. Rather than idly sit around while the family's got us blocked off, an offensive approach might be a wiser course of action. We're more familiar with the Stellaron's properties than most, and since it's the key to stabilizing the sweet dream, it's vital to the family's interests. By attacking their core interests, they're bound to retaliate hastily. And as the saying goes, haste makes waste.
That's right. As long as we pose a threat to the Stellaron, either with words or otherwise, we have a chance at gaining the upper hand. But the problem is, on the eve of the Charmony Festival opening, how exactly are we going to get close to the theater? Family security will be airtight, and if we brute force it, even if we succeed, it's too risky.
So, no one's gonna say anything? Then I'll raise my hand. I know the answer to this question. What's that supposed to mean? You'd better believe it. So, I heard that before the Charmony Festival begins, there'll be a pageant to kick off the festival. It's called the Soul Glad TM Festivity Auditions, or something, and it's going to be held in the moment of Scorch Sand. As long as we clinch the top spot, we'll be able to attain the title of Festive Superstar, and be able to personally bask in the graces of Miss Robin. Not that that's important. What's crucial is that we can enter the Grand Theater before the audience arrives.
So, how do we go about participating in these festivity auditions?
I've already procured special invite tickets from Miss Robin's fan club. To tell you the truth, I had been preparing to join the auditions all along, but now it looks like even if I scrape through, I probably still won't have the chance to shake Miss Robin's hand.
So they're still running this thing, huh? It was originally just a publicity stunt, set up by Mikhail to drum up attention. But it looks like it might be worth a shot.
We'll follow Marge's plan. Mr. Gallagher, will you be joining us?
I'm afraid I won't have the time. As a virtual character, I've already completed my final mission. Whether Penacony can awaken from this dream is all down to you.
Should we ever cross paths again, I'd love for you to visit the Express.
All right. I'll have to add to that databank of yours you've got on the Express.
And Miss Firefly, we thank you for all your support. We're faced with a formidable enemy. As long as the Astral Express and Stellaron Hunter's objectives are aligned, we're willing to cooperate with you.
We've already come this far together. I'd like to join you for the rest of your journey on Penacony. I'm pleased that we can finally fight shoulder to shoulder. I couldn't ask for a better ending.
This is also the spirit of the Trailblaze. Now, everyone, let's prepare to move out.
You mean to say that for the longest time, there have been scoundrels who would use this Charmony Festival that I have bequeathed to the masses as a tool to realize their ambition?
Indeed, Dream Master. Once the Charmony Festival begins, the Stellaron's powers, along with the song, will be broadcast across the entire planet of Penacony. And then everyone in their dreams will be unable to awaken.
This is indeed surprising to me. The dreamscape is maintained by the collective effort of the 5 families. If someone were to use the Charmony Festival to recklessly disseminate the power of the Stellaron, this individual must hold a position of great authority. Do you have any suspects?
I'd like to ask, did you really not know of the Stellaron's existence?
I would have never thought that this nameless would point the spear at me. Quite astonishing indeed.
If I have offended, the Astral Express extends its sincere apologies. But the current circumstances are dire and leave no room for meticulous inquiry. We're doing this out of concern for the dreamscape's safety. So, if you could, please alleviate our concerns.
Dream Master, it's just to prove that the Charmony Festival has nothing to do with the Stellaron. If we're being overly cautious, I will return to the stage to offer tribute in song, just per the arrangement.
Sunday, Robin. I've watched you two grow up and know your dispositions like the back of my hand. Both of you, right now, can surely be lauded as their most devout advocates. I already know your resolve. The magnitude of this matter is enormous and cannot be taken lightly. Since Mr. Yang has asked with such earnestness, I will personally respond in kind. If there is a need, the entire Oak family will be mobilized to heed your call. Someday, might I ask you to beseech them to cast their light unto me, and question me in their stead, so that no lies may be concealed?
I will do as you command.
Robin, could I entrust you to be present as a witness, to document the truth, and to proclaim my innocence, so that all slander may be utterly dispelled?
I will do as you command.
May thy will be carried out on earth, just as it is in the heavens.
Oh, triple-faced soul, please sear his tongue and palms with a hot iron, so that he will not be able to fabricate lies and make false vows.
Let us begin. There is nothing else to prepare.
Understood? Question. Have you devoted your life to your god, never worshipping other gods?
Naturally.
Do you love your god as you do yourself, always heeding their admonishments?
Naturally.
Have you strayed from the path expected by your god, betraying their name?
Never.
Have you ever been inordinate with your asks of your god, coveting more than the foundation of the creation itself?
Never.
Then, a final question. Do you swear to fulfill all vows, past, present, and future?
With the Eon as my witness, if I do not deliver on my words, or if I renege on my vows, may I be cursed in accordance with divine law.
They have seen your faith, and have endorsed your faith. With this, it can be evidenced...
Just a moment.
What is it, Mr. Yang?
I have another question I hope to have answered. To my understanding, the family's harmony and prosperity have never relied on so-called divine laws. The god you both mentioned, are they truly Xipe?
Mr. Yang should know that those belonging to the family toil together as if they were kin, embracing solidarity and unity under their light. All duplicity is laid bare before the harmony. Such a delicate and complex symphony. Which other god could perfectly harmonize this, if not for the Great One, Xipe?
Perfectly harmonize. Therein lies the problem. It isn't an outsider lurking in the shadows who changed the harmony, but a dissonance that has surreptitiously emerged from within this very symphony itself. In the distant past, there existed an Eon. With one flick of the wrist, they crafted the laws of the cosmos. Their followers formed the Beyond the Sky Choir, spreading solemn and reverent hymns throughout the universe. Later, they fell. The route traversed by this Eon clashed with the harmony, ultimately being absorbed and fused into it. The chorus that once reverberated across worlds fell silent, and when it echoed anew, it was transformed into the hymn of harmony. Though an Eon may perish, paths with no masters still linger. In the all-forgiving harmony, echoes of bygone dissonance may subtly arise.
Mr. Yang, being overly astute can be a detriment, especially when you find yourself alone and without allies.
So this is how it is.
For the sake of our grand cause someday, please afford these two an opportunity to rest.
What?
Sorry, Robin. It's just you. I did not wish for you to know this. It's a pity that things have turned out this way.
So, this is the true reason I can't sing? The shadow that envelops Penacony is actually...
We were never children of the harmony. Our ideal paradise could not have been crafted by Xipe. True bliss can only be guaranteed by the one who transcends the many. Within the foundation of law, humanity establishes civilization, and through harmony, we obtain order.
Have you heard of a planet named Biari Scamandros, Don Hung? It's one of the paradises under the influence of the Harmony, a sought-after wonderland for the inhabitants of the Dardanum Major and Minor systems. Half an Amber era ago, the family held an unprecedented festival there. And after that, everyone on the planet became part of the family.
Do you think the same thing will happen on Penacony?
Yes. Or how else can we explain it? The family deliberately used the Watchmaker's invitation to keep all the Pathstriders here, but banished the Emanator of the Nihility.
Because of the Nihility, I'm rarely affected by the power of other paths, but somehow I can unconsciously infiltrate them. Maybe that's the risk they're trying to avoid.
I would disagree. Biari Scamandros is not part of the credit system or connected to the Silver Rail. It's nothing more than a remote civilization sheltered by the Harmony. But Penacony is different. If the family messes with Penacony, that would be like declaring war on almost half of the factions in the cosmos. They have no reason to do that.
No, they don't. If they truly serve the Harmony, that is.
What do you mean?
The path in Penacony is impure. The Harmony here has impurities.
Do you remember the ancient swarm disaster? Tazeront, the propagation, brought endless havoc to the universe, and it eventually evolved into a fierce battle among all eons. 2 paths lost their eons in that war, the propagation and the order. Coincidentally, their downfall is related to a certain eon.
Shipe, the Harmony. Legend has it that they participated in the crusade against the Imperator Insectorum and devoured Anna the Order for unknown reasons.
Holy forgaroni. So you're saying that the 2 leaderless paths are working behind the scenes?
But I don't see any descendants of the propagation in Penacony. Could it be that the remnants of Beyond the Sky Choir are hiding within the family, trying to resurrect a fallen eon?
I can't say for sure, but they're definitely planning something for the Charmony Festival.
Holy wabba-boo. Now, this is getting way too complicated. Is this why you want us to leave Astana right away? Are you giving up?
The Charmony Festival will start soon. There's one thing that I need to confirm no matter what. A warp jump is the best way to do so.
Time is running out. I have another plan.
Hold on. Are you thinking of using the Jade Abacus of Allying Oath?
Exactly. The assistance from the Lawful Cloud Knights would be enough.
Think it over carefully. You can only use that once in your lifetime.
I have considered it thoroughly. My companions are... they're also once-in-a-lifetime treasures.
Look, there he is!
That concludes everything related to the Order. What are your reflections on this, my dear guests? Nevertheless, this is but a trivial blip in the annals of galactic history. What truly matters is the course this river shall take in the days to come. You've arrived at the perfect moment. The Charmony Festival is about to commence, and it would be a shame if you were absent for the Harmony's prologue. Allow me to extend my warmest welcome once more. Welcome to Penacony Grand Theater, the very core of the sweet dream, the abode of the Stellaron, the grand stage of the Charmony Festival. And the very place where the future of Penacony shall be determined through conflict. It hides behind the curtain, or rather, it is the theater itself. However, if you want to see it, you must display faith equal to its immense power. True goodness can only be achieved through faith.
Allow me to point out that falling into a permanent slumber is not happiness, especially when those people are driven by someone else's will in their sleep.
Do you still believe that the Order only seeks to control the universe as their puppet, Himeko?
No matter how perfect your vision of paradise may be, a cage remains a cage.
People will never achieve true happiness in a world like that. They would just be toys for the Eon.
It seems you have misunderstood my intentions. Allow me to clarify. My desire is not to resurrect a fallen Eon, or become one myself. My sole objective is to create a paradise free from Eons, where the Order ensures the dignity and happiness of all humanity. A paradise exclusive to us human beings.
That's not the case. If people are to live with dignity, there must be nothing and no one above them. In your so-called paradise, you would be the one reigning supreme.
Looks like we won't be able to convince each other. Now that our conflict has been destined, let's unveil our paths and reveal to the universe the true path. However, before the prelude to the future begins, please take a moment to ponder the questions I've posed. Is darkness equal to daylight? Are sinners equal to the righteous? If you are born weak, which god should you turn to for solace?
You already know that conceals its desire to control the heavens, and I'm no exception.
I already know your decision. I now permit you to gaze into the sun. On these 107,336 stones, the almighty and powerful strings of harmony are at my disposal. The supreme tuner, harmonious choir, Dominicus. The time has come. Creation will be reborn from the remains of the gods.
Danhang?
Radiant spirits, heed my word. Show no mercy!
Wake up! Wake up! Hey, wake up! The sun's frying your butt! Huh? Are you alright? Can you hear me? Do you remember your name? It does? Well, doesn't ring any bells to me. Looks like your mind's still in one piece. If you're able to remember such details. Well, that's reassuring. It's a long story. Simply put, Don Hung used the Jade Abacus of Allying Oath when we were in the middle of a fierce battle, and summoned the General to help us just in time. And then we return to reality. Look, this is your room. Everyone else has also returned from the dreamscape. Himeko and the rest are at the lobby discussing matters with the general. And now that you're awake, we should tell the crew that you're all right. Come with me.
Hey, we meet again, sleepyhead.
What's Miss Black Swan doing here?
Nothing, Miss March. I noticed she was awake and wanted to check to see how she was doing. Though the strike from the general was timely, its destruction was also immense. When emanators collide, ordinary people inevitably suffer. But, luckily for them, the dreamscape is my home turf. Thankfully, I managed to get everyone out before the harmonious choir collapsed.
Oh, so that's what happened! Thank you, Miss Black Swan!
Don't mention it. After all, I wouldn't want to see such precious memories vanish. You're heading to see your friends, aren't you? Would it bother you if I walked with you for a short while?
Of course not. But you're not planning on doing something like last time, are you?
Why would you think that? I've never harbored any ill intentions. Well, not when you are around, anyway.
That's all right. In these times of conflict for the sake of utmost safety, it is only right that the Alliance steps forward to mediate on behalf of the Astral Express. We must not allow you to take unnecessary risks. Furthermore, despite the IPC's eagerness for success, it prioritizes peace above all. And the family, trapped though it may be, professes a desire for harmony. The Alliance has always won people over with reason. I firmly believe both parties can indeed put aside their differences and come to a peaceful agreement.
The General possesses a deep understanding of the greater good. With the Cienjo Alliance mediating, peace for Penacony is within reach.
You flatter me. But ultimately, it's been all down to the Express. Without your efforts, this sweet dream paradise would have been claimed by the last remnants of order before there was even a shot at peace. Well, would you look at that? Here comes the big hero. Here's the galactic baseballer, the paragon of both heroism and humility.
Are you okay? I heard you couldn't wake up. Are you feeling unwell?
Don't worry, Mr. Yang. There's nothing wrong with her. She practically burned through a lifetime's worth of jokes on the way here. What about you, Mr. Yang? I heard that even Miss Robin wasn't spared. And that guy locked you both up.
It's a long story. But at least Mr. Sunday took it easy on us. He used an ability called tuning to connect our consciousnesses with his. In other words, he imprisoned us within his consciousness. Thanks to General Jing Yuan's destruction of the harmonious choir, we were able to escape.
He used that tuning on us too. Does that mean that we were almost imprisoned as well?
I can confidently say now, he was truly after a fair fight with us. Had he wanted, he could have easily taken us down, without so much as lifting a finger.
Speaking of the Oak family head, where is he now?
It's complicated, but in a nutshell, he's now the former Oak family head. The IPC has named him the key figure in the family's Penacony split, citing a threat to cosmic peace. He must represent the family and answer for the unrest caused. His trial is set to take place at Pier Point. The family quickly labeled him and the remnants of the Order as enemies, declaring the turmoil an internal rebellion. This move effectively barred the IPC from intervening in family affairs on both moral and rational grounds.
Everyone really has their own agenda after all.
Then, what's going to happen to Miss Robin? She and Sunday won't be able to deny their involvement in the Charmony Festival. They're siblings, after all. Why the sigh, General?
I can only say that this incident is an unexpected mess for the girl. The Alliance will try to persuade the family to consider this matter carefully during mediation. It's time, everyone. The IPC's key members and I have agreed to consult one another before the upcoming negotiation. Do any of you wish to sit in?
Given the General's invitation and the matter's significance to the universe, the crew will naturally accept. However, if the IPC has any reservations...
Why, of course you're welcome. They've mentioned that your team is a trusted ally of the IPC in Penacony, so there's no reason not to welcome you. Besides, if there can be reliable observers from the Astral Express present, discussions will go more smoothly. So, what do you all think?
Well then, we shall oblige.
I'm kind of allergic to those types of situations. I think I'll just head back to my room and start packing.
Not to worry. Himiko and I will take care of things.
I'm afraid I'll also have to return to the Express first. The conductor is worried about us. It's best I go and explain the situation.
Thank you. What about you, Will you join Welt and me? Or have you got other plans?
What? I can pack it myself, you know.
If that's the case, our galactic baseballer can join us. Although I'm not too sure of the reason, the representatives from the IPC have insisted on her presence. Allow me to lead the way. Follow me, please.